Hi everyone, my name's Alyssa and I'm the founder of Clearview Compass and I'm also an occupational therapist. So let's just run this check for accessibility. All right, start checking. How did we do? So over here, we've got all of our issues. Yikes! Oh man, so many issues. Fail. And somebody with a screen reader wouldn't be able to fill this out at all, or read it for that matter. But by the end of this video, it'll be nice and tidy and everything will be ready to go. Seeing all of these failures reminds me, I have an article on failure analysis and how if you have a really good and habitual process for reflecting on failures or setbacks of any kind, it can actually foster resilience, and there's neuroscience to support it. If you want to read it, I'll include the link in the description below. So I clicked prepare form and this is what it came up with. On page 1, there are only 2 text fields to complete and a bunch of other things that are not right at all. Well, that stinks. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm going to just start with page 1. I'm just gonna delete that and basically I'm gonna have to start from scratch. I'm gonna create a text field for the date. I will title it date. And I'm going to check out the properties. Tooltips are those little informational messages that give guidance on what to do with an element. So if somebody's not interacting visually and using a screen reader, like JAWS for example, it would read it out to them.
Date of birth, format must be mm/dd/yyyy edit. Type in text.
So I'll show you the tooltip for the column details as an example. So I'm gonna go to General, and in the tooltip, I'm going to give instructions so that somebody would know how to use this field. If you wanted this to be an application or like a form or that has required fields, you could put that. I'm not going to add that now. All right. If you wanted to make sure that people only entered specific numbers or information, you can make sure that it's validated. And then this is something that I pay attention to, especially if I have something like a PDF that's like going to involve notes or longer multi-line text, then I pay attention to the options and the alignment. So I always want to check spelling. This I don't need to be multi-line. I don't need to scroll. The text shouldn't extend past what's visible. And I don't think that people are going to care necessarily if they have their date italicized or bolded or underlined. So I'm just going to leave it at check spelling, only because it's a habit and it automatically includes it. So then I shall add location, call-in details, meeting called by, and note taker. So I'm going to go through and rename all of these and ensure that they have the correct options in the properties for each element. Okay, now I've gotten to attendees. I'm going to add 1 text field per line, because I imagine that if somebody's wanting to include a list, they can have maybe 1 or 2 people per line. I don't know how many people are attending a meeting, but it gives you the option. And if somebody's looking for attendees, then I want them to be able to tab from one line to the next instead of having one big text field across all of them. But that's just a matter of preference. In this scenario, you could do either. You could just make this really big and have it just be a bunch of attendees that way. So I'm gonna just title this attendees line 1. And then I shall create multiple copies. So you'll see here in this pop-up, create multiple copies of the fields. I don't need multiple columns, I just need 4 rows. So this is asking me how many total, including the one that I have highlighted, do I want. So I want 4. Maybe let's make this a nice tidy height. All right. So I'm just scooting them down so that they're evenly spaced. Another thing you could do, so I have the cursor tool, I'm not like creating new fields. I'm gonna select all of them and I can use this align button. So I want to equally distribute them vertically and it'll space them equally. So that way it's not like wonky. All right, and then I am going to add another text field here and I'm gonna make sure that the properties are set up the way that I want. So this is an example of a field that I would want multi-line. I do want somebody to be able to scroll. I want to allow rich formatting. If this was like an application or something and the reviewers wanted to limit the number of characters, then that's where you could put that here and say like max 250 characters or whatever it is. Those are some of the basics. I'm just gonna have to go through and finish all of those little details and then I can do my final touches with spacing and alignment and whatnot. As you can see, this is a very involved process. If a PDF fillable form isn't really what you're looking to create, Jotform offers an excellent alternative. I've spent a lot of time collecting data for every reason that you can imagine in higher education, in research, healthcare, and K-12 education. And Jotform has consistently been at the top of the list of the platforms that I've researched. And they offer HIPAA compliant and FERPA compliant and accessible tools that you can use. And one of the things that I'm most excited about right now is that they are really leading the pack when it comes to incorporating AI assistance. I highly recommend checking out some of their really well done YouTube videos explaining all of the features and functions. In the next video, I will show the final steps of tagging and actually correcting all of those failed accessibility check issues that came up. All right, have a good one.